All right, man. The last episode of the week. I got a little extra rasp in my voice right now, kind of Bucky Brooks style. But anyways, we're talking 49ers. We're talking Seahawks. Keys to victory for the San Francisco 49ers. Some of it we spoke about, Locked on 49ers last night, so make sure y'all tune into that. But we're going to get into it with the fans today. The floor is yours today. Everything, whatever y'all want to talk about, that's what we're going to do right here on San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And of course, as always, I let y'all know where you can find me daily. I mean, of course, here. So hit the like and subscribe button, but also Locked on 49ers with myself and Brian Peacock. The most listened to, most downloaded show on the Locked On Network. Shout out to the faithful. Listen, we have like these goals to surpass a certain amount of downloads and listens, etc. Like, you know, it's like some millions. And so far, already this year, we have surpassed our 3 million. We did over 3 million last year. Over 3 million downloads on Locked On Network. Locked On 49ers. We've surpassed that already this year. And we got the whole football season to go. So shout out to all the listeners, man. We talking about millions and millions and listens. Let's go, man. Downloads, too. Let's go. So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to the faithful, man. We see y'all checking in, y'all tuning in. All that good stuff, man. We're talking 49ers today. We're talking Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys use the promo code Crocky. And they'll match your deposit up to $100. Up to $100. So if you deposit, okay, I want to deposit $50. They'll match your $50. You got $100 to play with, over-unders, player props, fantasy sports, all that good stuff. If you want to deposit $100, they will match your $100 and give you $100. They're like, here, play some Underdog Fantasy, do some player props, go ahead, parlay that. I missed a couple last night. Yeah, you know what? If you have like a addictive personality, maybe you should stay away because it can get a little addicting. All right, it could get a little addicting. So if you have that kind of personality, you know, stay away. But if you don't, if you're good and you know when to say no, Underdog Fantasy, download the app or go to underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code Crocky. All right, and again, they'll match your deposit up to $100. Croc, what'd you think of Herbert's performance last night? Let's talk about both of these quarterbacks, right? Because everybody talk about the 49ers quarterback. I remember 2019, the San Francisco 49ers, they started this season 8-0. And they weren't talking about the 49ers on any network, any channel. And I remember thinking, like, I'm going to watch all these shows, talk about my team. My team is undefeated, 8-0. And the 49ers weren't on any show. They weren't talking about them. Now the 49ers are 0-1, and every single network, every channel, every podcast, every former coach, every former player, everybody is talking about the 49ers and Trey Lance. I have never seen anything like it. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, I say all that to say Justin Herbert's performance last night. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes on the field. And I was excited to watch those guys. I'm like, man, two high-level quarterbacks. And you see them do some very special things. And there was something else that jumped out to me as well. And I don't know. Y'all, listen, I pay attention to all these quarterbacks even closer because of who the 49ers quarterback is and how scrutinized he is in the media. So I'm watching, and I did this with Jimmy Garoppolo as well, not just Trey Lance thing. But I'm watching, and I'm like, that's a terrible throw. Wow, he one-hopped that. Wow, that flew 3 yards out of bounds. Oh, he did that. Wow, he threw it right to the DB. Oh, man, he got bailed out by holding. That was an interception. Oh, man, he threw it right to that DB. Oh, man, he got bailed out. Oh, man, he hit that DB right in the chest. Man, he hit that DB in the chest. That should have been pick six. Oh, wait, that is a pick six thrown by Justin Herbert going the other way. These quarterbacks, man, the thing that I want to say there's a couple things that work for them. They make some special plays. Herbert made the special throw. Patrick Mahomes made some special throws. But it's just wild because, again, I hate like putting a cape on for Trey Lance. I just feel like the criticism is a little unfair for how little football he's played, but he gets criticized and critiqued for every single play, no matter the scenario or situations or whatever. And you see some of the things that happened last night with terrible throws, terrible decisions, terrible. And it's like nobody bats an eye. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody batted an eye at, y'all watch it. Patrick Mahomes, how many times did he hit DBs in the hands? 5 times? Literally. 3 of them they caught. And it just was a penalty each time on somebody else. But what is it, about 5 times? 2 of them, Asante Samuel flat out dropped. Asante Samuel flat out dropped a pick 6. And he dropped another one that hit him in the hands. And then another one where like barely hit the ground. I still think it was an interception. But Justin Herbert, he was hurt at the end, man. I thought it was a heroic effort by him. Clearly there's something going on with the ribs and whatnot. We'll see if he's able to suit up this upcoming weekend. I thought he made a big-time throw with the ribs. He could barely throw. It was like the play before he was running, and he was like, he like threw the ball 5 yards. And then the very next play is like, strike 30, 40 yards down the field on the line. And I'm like, how could you barely throw a ball 2 yards? And then this time you just threw a strike. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But, yeah, it's just wild, man. I'm watching it. And here's another thing I kind of took away from that. Y'all let me know. Did y'all think it was weird that the Chargers went for it, right? So this just the way my mind works. I'm watching football. I was actually getting tatted at this time, so I didn't hide that. Oop, my bad, y'all. Oh wait, hold on. A blessing to wake up today. That's right, Richie Rich. It is a blessing to wake up today. But I was getting tatted, so I didn't tweet it out, man. The back of my leg kind of hurt a little bit. But anyways, I'm watching the game. And the Chargers are down 10 points. So when you're down 10 points, again, I done played hella Madden. Crazy thing about Madden, you learn a lot of things about time, clock management, scenarios. Obviously, I played a bunch of football as well. But I'm looking at the situation. It's 4th and, I don't know, goal from like the 7 or something like that, wherever they were. And they're down 10 points. So what do? You kick the field goal. So then you're down 1 score, right? Because at the very least, you're down 2 scores regardless. So you kick the field goal. And you have to kick an onside kick no matter what. Well, the Chargers went for it on 4th down, which I thought was idiotic. Now, they got it, and it still didn't change anything because they kicked the onside kick. They didn't get it back. But just the thought process of this head coach, I'm like, what are you doing? That was one of the weirder just decisions that I've ever seen. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's 4th and goal. You kick a field goal. Now you know it's a 1-score game. And you have to kick the onside kick. Going for it on 4th down is a much lower percentage, especially from like the 7 in the red zone on 4th and 7 to go or whatever. 4th and goal from the 7. Just thought it was really odd. So, I don't know. Did anybody else think that was hella weird? Anybody? Chargers gave up a 10-point lead. Yeah, but, playing against the Chargers. Now, part of giving up a 10-point lead, I said playing against the Chargers, playing against the Chiefs. But part of giving up a 10-point lead was a pick 6 by Justin Herbert. What was it, 100-yard pick 6? 99-yard pick 6? Glad Trey Lance didn't do that. Man, they would really be on him, right? Imagine if Trey Lance did that. Like, what would they be saying right now? Oh, they would be killing him. They would be killing him. All right. I see a lot of comments already about Trey Lance in the strip club. I'd like to know, when it was. Okay, first of all, let's talk about pro athletes in strip clubs. This is not, there are players. Maybe y'all don't know this. I don't know. I assume people know. First of all, I'm not a big strip club person. I've talked about some scenarios where I was in strip clubs and stuff like that. My teammates with the Jets would give me, money. They'd be like, hey, Croc, here's 2 bands. Throw this. I'm like, I'll throw 500 of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep I don't got the money like y'all. But the strip club, I don't know if it's a culture thing, but it's a big thing. Well, he comes from goddamn Minnesota. Where is he from? Marshall, Minnesota or something like that. So I don't know if he's from the same culture as some of these other people that love going to strip clubs, but NFL players go to strip clubs. And I would say 90+% of them. And I'm talking about during a week, after a game, before. Dudes are in the strip club. Like, this is not any type of, like, new thing. You're just not supposed to have your phone out in a strip club. So y'all don't know that these dudes be in the strip clubs. Y'all don't know that. Hey, these dudes be in the strip clubs all the time. So I saw it and I just saw him throwing money. I ain't think nothing of it. I would say, ideally, you don't want him in the strip club on a night, where you have a game. I don't know when this video was. It could be something that's new. It could be something that's old that's just surfacing. So I don't know. So ideally, hey, work week, man, like, don't be in the strip club. But I will say, most teammates I've had, like, they go to the strip club. We used to go party like Thursdays. Like Thursday nights, they used to have these little specials. Tuesday nights, we was in the club. Like, dudes go out. Like, that's not. They're normal people. Okay, this goes back to what I was saying. I think I said it before. These professional athletes, they have more responsibility in the sense of, holding a standard for your favorite football team, of course. But these dudes are normal people. I talked about going into locker rooms and realizing that. Seeing Tim Tebow recite Lil Wayne lyrics. And I'm like, what? Aren't you supposed to be like holy Bible, whatever? No, he's like, no, he's a normal dude. These guys are normal people. They just have more money. So, I don't know. They do stuff that normal people do. Some of y'all go to work, right? You get off work. Sometimes you don't go straight home. Sometimes you go to the store. Sometimes you go kick it. Sometimes you go hang out with a little chick. Sometimes you go to a club and you just know, like, damn, I gotta be up early the next day. Normal people. I promise you. I promise you. They are normal people. They do the same stuff y'all do. I promise you. Just more money in their bank account. That is the only difference. Colin Cowherd leaked the video. Yeah. Colin Cowherd, he got it out for Trey Lance. He brings up Trey Lance any chance he gets. Shout out to my guy Abel in there. You think Niners finna cover the 8.5 point spread? Shout out, Abel, I already tell y'all, man. Abel is my dog. Westwood Elementary, real north side, 2400 Valverde Park. All the good stuff. Stockton, California. Let's go. But you think the 49ers cover the 8.5 point spread against the Hawks? No. If me, what I'm kind of predicting, a little bit more lower scoring, right? Like, Trey Lance has to prove to me that he can continually put, like, drives together. Well, he puts drives together, but, like, points on the board. Like, can you score points? And we saw against Houston, 23 points scored. Awesome, right? Obviously there are several opportunities to score more points in the Bears games. Fumbled inside the 5, missed throw to the tight end. So they left points on the board. Now you just got to capitalize on it and score points. So again, I haven't quite seen that yet be like consistent for them. So I would say 49ers win 2017, last second field goal kick by Robbie Gould. Now, and again, I think the defense is going to play great. Defense is good. They 2 plays last week. You want back a couple boneheaded stuff from a mental standpoint. We'll talk about some of those things, but 49ers defense, like, it's probably going to be as good as it gets. And Peacock and I talked about it last night with, what we would like to see from the 49ers as far as, like, coverage goes and stuff like that. And we had Corbin on. We did a Locked On 49ers versus Seahawks crossover. And Corbin, who covers the Seahawks, talked about taking advantage of the 49ers cornerbacks with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And I think the 49ers corners are probably a more underrated aspect of this team right now. And maybe because of the rain and stuff like that, people kind of like don't really know, with them playing against the Bears. And these guys, our corners, didn't play in the preseason. But those dudes are damn good. They can play. Obviously this is going to be a good challenge. But dudes can play. And I would actually flip the guys. DK Metcalf, for the most part, stays on the left side of the offense. Well, that's Emmanuel Mosley's side. And then you got Travarius Ward on the other side, right? And that's Tyler Lockett. I would actually flip-flop those guys because I just think their skill sets. But anyways, as far as the point spread, Abel, I would take the under on that, and I would take the under on the points. Just my opinion. We got Abe here. He says, temptation is everywhere. We are all sinners. We all fall. It's the person that decides how they get back up. We're not alone. God is with you. Appreciate you, Abel. Abe, that is true. Yes, sir. Got a super chat here. Why are so many prominent football coaches not impressed by Trey's mechanic and processing? And why shouldn't we be concerned that these Super Bowl winning coaches don't like what they see when they watch him. I don't know. I mean, again, I always say this. You don't like something until you like it. And I would bet that because of how, let's say, Patrick Mahomes, how he played at Texas Tech, the office that they were in, there were people that maybe weren't high on him. To me, it was clear. The kid was extremely talented. When you hear Kyle Shanahan go back and talk about 2017 and looking into the quarterbacks and how Mahomes was viewed, I think people were all over the place on him. They were all over the place. I remember when he was coming out, and I got the tweet. I said, hey, I would go Patrick Mahomes because he's the most talented quarterback in this class. I'm going to pull up the tweet. All right. But Kyle Shanahan talked about it, and he said, look, people weren't, like, they just weren't talking about Patrick Mahomes like he was this top 3, top 5, top 6, top 7 quarterback at that time. There were a couple of quarterbacks or coaches that were really high on him, clearly, right? And even for Sean Payton was like, hey, man, like, you know, Chiefs sniped us. We had 2 guys there that we really liked. We liked Marshawn Lattimore, and we liked Patrick Mahomes. We were sitting there at 11. Chiefs jumped up to 10, drafted Patrick Mahomes. And they were like, well, we're good because we got Marshawn Lattimore, who's been a good corner in the NFL. But nobody in their right mind holds a quarterback and a cornerback on the same pedestal. Like, they're not even, the value of that is not remotely the same. So if you like Patrick Mahomes as much as you say, there is no way that you're saying, oh, well, yeah, if we can't get Patrick Mahomes, then we'll settle for Marshawn Lattimore. Again, he's been a good corner, but the value is not, it ain't close. So I think some people are kind of putting some dubs on things a little bit. And like Kyle Shanahan said, people weren't talking about him like that. They didn't view him like that, except for the Chiefs. So I think a lot of times with some of these young guys, people are all over the place. You hear some people in the media that really liked him. And there are a lot that are like, I don't like this, I don't like that, whatever. And I'd assume that the conversation was the same around Patrick Mahomes because it wasn't very orthodox with how he played. And it's still not. But I always say, man, like, people might not be believers until they are. And it's on the player to overcome that. It's on Trey Lance to overcome that. Next thing you know, Trey Lance balling, then there's going to be people that are like, well, yeah, man, we had a top 8 grade. We were going to draft him. If he would have came here, we would have drafted him. It's like, well, yeah, you say that now. After, you know, a year of everybody killing the kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. That's how I look at it. As far as why we shouldn't be concerned or should be concerned or whatnot, listen, man, I talk a lot about this all the time. Everything is a process. Everything is a process, and just trust the process of whatever it is. And you will find out. I find it weird that people think they found out in 3 games what a kid isn't. When I've seen him make high-level plays. Like, that's the thing. We have seen all the reasons why the 49ers would have drafted him, right? Like, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. We have seen all the reasons. We've seen the big-time throws. What did he have last game? Like, the most big-time throws in the game, or a higher percentage of big-time throws as anybody in the NFL or whatever. Like, he makes throws. He makes plays. He makes plays with his legs. So the mechanics and things like that, like, those things you can correct that. Like, you can fix that. It just takes time. And that will help him be a little bit more consistent, maybe in different situations. I don't know about a monsoon, but he's able to make plays. He's able to make throws, high-level throws that I think other people won't even attempt. Now it's on him to just be more consistent. Now, the tough thing is, well, I got to play to be more consistent. I got to see it to be more consistent. I got to trust in my players to be more consistent. I got to go through some adversities to go through, be more consistent, and people don't want to give him that opportunity, and that's tough. That is tough. That's tough. Croc, you talking about fans like who you have up. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. It gets kind of nauseating, like, coming on here, because I just want to talk football with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about Trey Lance and, like, every single week, every single day, dissecting every single throw from a guy who has started 3 games. I think that, you know, and then everybody disregarding the good moments he's had. And just, oh no, he couldn't throw in the tsunami. You know what I'm saying? He could throw in a tornado in Chicago at the end of a game. Like, come on, man. Come on. Kid's talented, man. He's talented. He's made plays. He's made throws. I see somebody, he hasn't done anything. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He contributed to your favorite team. I'm assuming you're a 49er fan. Where is it? Right here. I'm assuming you're a 49er fan. You got Brandon Ayuk as your pitcher. And if I'm not mistaken, hey, JJ Arati, all right, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But was the Houston Texans game last year a must-win for the 49ers to go to the playoffs? Yes or no? That's all I need. Yes or no? That's all I need. Because if I'm not mistaken, and you say he hasn't done anything at all, well, I think you saw him complete 70% of his passes, throw a couple touchdown passes, running for another touchdown that guy ended up getting called back. Win in the game that the 49ers had to win to go to the playoffs. So I wouldn't say he has not done anything. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, okay. I'm quoting Mike Martz and Lombardi. Okay, my bad. My apologies. My bad. But yeah, maybe I'm still wrong to them. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some good stuff, man, in this game. And I'm just going to leave it up to y'all. Here we go. You guys come on live. I have some thoughts of my own, and I'll touch on it as we go live right now, as people start to filter in here. But a couple of things I just wanted to kind of briefly touch on as it pertains to the 49ers against the Seahawks. And again, I don't want to come on here. I don't want to get in this like Trey Lance thing. And I know everybody wants to talk about that, but it's just, I just want to see the kid play on Sunday. And then we'll talk about how he did. Speculation and stuff like that, man, is just, I don't know. I think it's weird. how they do it. Off topic, but what's the score predictions for the Niners game? I got 21-10, 49ers win. I can see that. I got 2017, 49ers kicking a field goal to win the game. That's what I got, but I can definitely see 21-10. I could definitely see 21-10. 49ers have a terrific defense. We got 23-9 from Flav. I can see that. I can see that. All right. 24-16. I think we're all kind of on the same page with it. The under on the points. A couple of my notes real quick before I get to the callers. Get after the rookie tackles. And I think that's one thing that'll be, really big for the 49ers. You have two guys who I evaluated for Locked On NFL Draft. And I do a podcast with a couple of guys, John Schmeek and Tony Pauline. Right, we do a podcast called Draft Season. It's on all the New York Giants stuff. You go to New York Giants official YouTube channel, their official website, all that stuff. I do a podcast with them as well. And we talked a lot about some of these prospects, including Cross, the left tackle, and Abraham Lucas, and some of the things that we saw from them and had to break them down, etc. So get after the rookie tackles. Charles Cross, left tackle. Abraham Lucas, right tackle. Abraham Lucas, watching him coming out of college, one thing I thought he kind of, struggled with for the most part was like that pure speed and athleticism off the edge. If you just send a big body at him, let's say like Charles Omenihu, I don't know if Charles Omenihu is going to just beat Abraham Lucas. He's like this big guy. He has a good anchor down, and he can block well from that standpoint. He's kind of a big wall. But if you get him having to move and really show a little bit more athleticism, that's where he can struggle. So, hell, put Nick Bosa up against him. Put Ebicam up against him. Maybe a Drake Jackson as well. Just go beat him with speed. Go beat him with athleticism. I think that's something that you can take advantage of really on both sides. At the end of the day, Charles Cross, who got called for 2 holding penalties, if he's going up against Nick Bosa all day, that's just tough, right? And good prospect. He's a top 10 pick for a reason. But I put my money on Nick Bosa. You guys just win a few times, right? Just win a few of those reps. Make life hard on the rook. I think Nick Bosa has the ability to do that. Abraham Lucas, he graded out even better than Charles Cross. But get some speed at him. That's what I would do. All right, that's what I would do. Another thing, take advantage of a young secondary. Now they got some terrific young players in that secondary. Some guys I really like. You got Tariq Woolen. Dude is extremely athletic. He's a freak athlete out there. A cornerback that's 6'4", 205 pounds. Ran a 4.26, 4.28, something crazy. I mean, he's a 4.2 guy. All right, jumps out the building. Athletic freak. Now, I had the opportunity to talk to him at the Senior Bowl. And, I told him, I said, bro, you need to get with Antonio Cromartie, because Antonio Cromartie, he's built like you. And he can teach you, about, I was a bigger corner, right? 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. I mean, this guy's even bigger than me. He's towering over me. And I understand what it feels like to be a longer corner, and the movement skills and the change of directions and those challenges that pose that. Just running a go route, I'm not doing that versus him. But things that challenge his movement skills, especially in space, I'm doing that all day. So can you, if you're the 49ers, I got a slot receiver in there, maybe it's Deebo Samuel. I got Brandon Ayuk on the outside, and he's matched up against Tariq Woolen. Motion him down. What is motioning him down going to do? That's going to make Tariq Woolen have to play off. You got to play off. When you motion guys down to a tight split or a bunch, you can't press both guys. So guys are going to have to play off. And then from there, now I want to work them in space and challenge those change of direction movement skills. That's what I would do to Tariq Woolen. I'm not just throwing a go route on him, though, because he can run. He can run. But on the other side, you're going to have Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson played a lot. We'll see if they stick with Michael Jackson, who had a really good game, 2 fumble recoveries. He's playing over Kobe Bryant right now. Kobe Bryant did play in the slot. I got to go back and see, though, was Kobe Bryant playing in the slot because they just played him in the nickel, or was Kobe Bryant playing in the slot because he came in and there was a tight split by Jerry Jeudy? And we saw what Jerry Jeudy did to him. Again, got him off in space. And some of these guys, you can get them when you get them off in space that way. So try to take advantage of the young secondary. Put them in situations that they haven't really been in before. And one thing about that game, and I know Seahawks won, and that's awesome, but the Broncos moved the ball up and down the field. There was not one possession where the Broncos did not take the ball into Seattle territory. They got stopped twice on the 1-yard line with fumbles. And that was one of the bigger differences there. But just in the sense of being able to move the ball, move the sticks, they did that. Now you just got to capitalize on it. And that's been the 49ers' issue, right? Moving the ball, awesome. Capitalizing off of it, not as great. So you got to be able to do that. And you would like to see the 49ers get on track with that this game. And then my last note before I get to the callers is be more disciplined. And I think that's clear. I've talked about it. I didn't feel like the Bears beat the 49ers. Now, again, Bears, yes, they beat the 49ers. I got Bears fans in here. Y'all won. Y'all did that. Great job, right? And if I'm a Bears coach, hey, man, we battled through adverse situations. We came out with a W against a good football team. Let's go. Hurrah. Or what was my guy Ghost of Judah? Oh, Bears against the Bears. The little song he did, all right? So if I'm the Bears, I feel good about it. If I'm the 49ers, I say, listen, we beat ourselves. Game shouldn't have been close. We were up 10-0. Should have been even worse than that, right? You miss a touchdown pass. You fumble inside the 10, right? We should have a huge lead and go into halftime feeling good. And then when the adverse situation kicks in with the tsunami, then, all right, nobody's going to really be able to play comeback in that. So we're good. Well, that didn't happen. So why didn't it happen? Discipline, penalties, third down, getting off the field. 49ers have to be better with that, specifically Drake Greenlaw. Come on. That was a big play call. All right, so those are my 3 takeaways right there, kind of notes that I definitely want to touch on. Real quick, I'm going to get to a couple of these super chats real quick, and then I have a couple of guys that have been waiting patiently to come on live. What do you think the RB situation would look like? I'd figure out different ways to get the ball into Deebo Samuel's hands. And I'm not saying just line them up in the I formation backfield or line them up, but I'd figure out a way to get him 10 to 12 carries. He's the most dynamic runner the 49ers have right now, especially with Elijah Mitchell out. His vision is good. The burst and acceleration is really good. Again, I don't want him just going in there taking the pounding, but this is a must-win without being a must-win, right? We need this win, 1, to feel good about where you are. You feel like you're a really good team. You got to win the game from that standpoint. 2, you got a young quarterback. He needs to win so these media people can get off his back a little bit. And 3, you just want to win this game. It's a divisional game. And shoot, you win this game, you're sharing a hold of first in the division. So, and I know it's early for that kind of talk, but this is a big win from that standpoint, and just being the Seahawks in general. They've had the 49ers numbers for years. All right, so I'm using Deebo Samuel. I'm not saving him for any other time. You win this game, then maybe you can go back to whatever your original plan was. But right now, put Deebo in the backfield as much as possible. Get him out on the edge. Do those things with him. Get the ball in his hands. Let him make plays. All right. So that's that part as far as the running back situation. Then I think it sounds like going with the hot hand. So you'll see some combination of the other three guys: Jeff Wilson, Tyler Price, Jordan Mason. I think all three guys will get an opportunity. And Kyle said, hey, I'm going to roll with the hot hand. So who looks good? Who looks the best out of those guys? Who's seeing the field the best? Who's looking bursty? Who's accelerating? And whoever that is that looks like he's getting in the groove, that'll be the guy that ends up carrying the load. So that's something I'm excited to see. Here we go. Got Miss Debbie in here. Good morning, Miss Debbie. Blessings to you, my brother. Hey, faithful, hit that like if you appreciate what Eric brings us each time he's here. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Miss Debbie. And I agree. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe as well. Got the subscribes going up. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am, in Debbie's case. Kinlaw is just throwing. Hello, everyone just hush. Oh, he's just throwing offensive alignment. Kinlaw is just throwing offensive alignment. Everyone just hush. Okay. I didn't even, I got to pay more attention than someone said. Bursty, is that a word? Yeah, bursty is a word. Bursty. If not, it is now. Now, it's my show. So, yeah. Now, how about that? Here we go. We got Peter coming on. Peter, tuning in from work. How you doing? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Croc. I appreciate you having me up. So I had two questions as usual. I had two questions for you. You just were talking about the running backs, and I hear you. I hear you about and I hear what Shanny said about going with the hot hand. And I will no longer not believe Shanny when he says something but I still question it. I still think he wants Jeff Wilson to get a bulk of the carries just because Shanny likes the least explosive person on the team.
Hold on real quick. I think Shanny still wants Elijah Mitchell to get a bunch of the carries.
That's real. Yeah, I feel like he wants the least explosive. He just has so much I don't even know what the word is for Jeff Wilson. He just has so much love for Jeff Wilson that it doesn't matter. I don't think 2.4 yards a carry is going to matter to him. I think he just likes Jeff Wilson and the way he plays. I want Jordan Mason to get some carries, and I want to see TDP too. But Jordan Mason,
Peter, I think he likes Jeff Wilson because I think he just knows what he's going to get from him. And Kyle has this thing where, as long as he just knows what he's going to get from you, and that's probably his hard thing with playing a Trey Lance last year, and even probably playing Trey Lance this year. He wants to know exactly what he's going to get, and so he can be able to prepare for that. This is understandable.
That's true.
But I think with Jeff Wilson, he's been on the team for a few years now. Man, it's been a while now. And he knows exactly what he's getting from Jeff Wilson. And there's some comfortability that comes with that. Is that a word too? I don't know, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all tell me in the chat. Comfortability.
It is.
But I think that's why he likes him. So while he has his comfortable guy out there and the other guys get their chances and then they do well in that moment, then cool. But I don't think he's going to be like, all right, Tyler Price, Jordan, Mason, I'm going to throw y'all out there first and see what y'all can have. I don't think he's going to wing it like that.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. I definitely don't think he's going to do that. I think Jeff Wilson's going to get those first quarter carries. But my other question is kind of about the fact that Shanny just I think what makes him a great play caller is also what frustrates the rest of us, which is he doesn't take advantage of matchups, matchup issues on the other side. And it's when it looks good, it looks great. When we lose, it looks terrible. So I don't know what you think of if Shanny will ever get over the hump of trying to go after matchup issues. You
talking about from defense?
Yeah, taking advantage of matchups, from an offensive standpoint.
Okay. So Kyle, again, this just, and y'all, I could be wrong, but what it looks like to me, what I've seen from him, I have never seen Kyle go, okay, you see this corner right here? We're just gonna attack him all night long.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not his thing. At least it doesn't look like it to me. What it looks like to me is he sees a guy that could potentially be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain situations, this guy can be vulnerable, and he calls plays to set up what makes that guy vulnerable, whether it's with his eye discipline or whatever, and put that guy in the bind to where he gets a big hitter. So when we watch and we see early on Brandon Ayuk running wide open over the middle, I think he did some things to kind of set that up. Motion this way. Remember, and I was watching the game and I was thinking, damn, I think heading into halftime, 49ers motioned on every single play. So he's catching somebody's eyes. He's doing some things, get them moving here and there, and then boom, I'm going to hit you with this. I'm going to set you up with an end around to Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to set you up with a shovel pass to Deebo Samuel. And then I'm going to hit you with this crosser. And everything is attached to or designed to attack that, like somebody who he sees at the linebacker group that he can get to come suck up or move a guy, and he knows exactly what that guy's going to do. But just in the sense of, man, they got this corner out here. Remember Brian Allen, right? Remember Brian Allen a couple years ago against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were just like, this dude is ass. We're going to go at this dude until they take him out. And eventually 49ers took him out. That has not been Kyle Shanahan's philosophy. I think he leans more on his understanding of defensive rules.
Yeah, but that's my point is, what do you think he'll ever get to a point to where he kind of like, okay, the game plan's not working, I need to just take advantage of this matchup? I can't see it because I've never seen him do it.
Now, again, I would have to see him. So far with the 49ers, I've seen him with quarterbacks that have a limitation.
Yeah,
so whether it's Brian Hoyer, we understood what he was. CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, we understood what they were, right?
That's true.
Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think when I say limitations, I think there were clear areas of where, hey, you know what? I don't think this is quite a strength of Jimmy Garoppolo's game, but Jimmy does these things extremely well. So we're going to formulate a game plan around what Jimmy does extremely well, and we're going to be able to win a lot of games with that, right? So maybe that wasn't necessarily just attacking a corner and just, hey, if I do this, I move this guy, then Jimmy can get the ball out real quick and hit this guy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have run after catch opportunities. So I think he understood that. And then with Trey Lance, it's just the limitations of dude ain't played a lot.
The newness.
So
it's the newness.
So I think he's kind of handcuffed with being able to truly open things up and being able to be like, all right, we're going to do X, Y, Z, right? Because like Trey hasn't shown like that's not his game yet. One day, maybe. Well, depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Mike Martz, he's like, well, it's never going to happen. He just sucks. But one day, maybe. But right now, I don't think Trey is necessarily there in his progression to be just a drop back passer and pick apart a defender. So I think those are things that he has to grow into. And I think maybe the more he grows into kind of being that guy, and that might be a year down the line, 2 years down the line, whatever, I don't know. That's when we might see more of a Kyle Shanahan opening up how he can attack certain defenses or defensive players. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. Like, I mean, yeah, I know us as fans, we just want to see it. And sometimes, and like, it doesn't even matter who's back there. Like, sometimes we just don't think of the limitations that the coaches are dealing with. Like, so, but yeah, no, that was good perspective. But I appreciate you, Croc. Like, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get back to work. But yeah, happy Friday, bro.
All right, have a good one. Hey, real quick, I got a question.
Yeah.
When you bald in the middle like that, do you have to shave in the middle, or you just have to like shave the sides?
I shave it all. I shave it all because then you got those little hairs that pop up, and it'd be looking crazy. So
okay,
like,
I
you just got to come on home.
You can see it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just come on home, bro.
Yeah, well, I shave my whole head, but I know some people, and not to be like racist or anything, but white people, y'all let it like y'all grow hair on the sides and stuff too, and then y'all be leaving the middle just gone. But then I'd be like, man, do they have to shave that at all? So yeah, that's
I do. Like I just shave it once a week.
Okay, all right,
all the way down. But
all right, I know that's an off-topic question, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, brother.
All right, you have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
All right. I think we're getting a little too close here on the San Francisco 49ers morning show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hey, that was a real question I've always wondered, and he was right there, and I just had to ask. Man, I saw a question here. Shanahan, here we go. Shanahan attacks the matchups, not the players. Right. And that's my thing. Now, again, my question is, does he do that because of the personnel at quarterback, or does he do that because, like, this is just the way my mind works? I think sometimes you can overcomplicate things. You see a certain guy and you're like, man, I can get this guy. If I see him out there, he's flat-footed, I can just tell my guy run a go route. You know, there's just certain times where I get we want our schemes and things like that, but make it easy on yourself. Run a go route. Hey, run a stop route. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that corner is going to get upfield. Just run a stop route. But yeah, a lot of what he does is predicated by scheme, and I think that's why we heard, right, Trey Lance. They talked about Trey Lance. They asked him, hey, Trey, I talked to him about just spit it out, Croc, just spit it out. They asked Trey Lance about not getting the ball to Ayuk more. Ayuk had 2 targets, right? He had 3 touches, 2 targets. And Lance's response was, well, we have our concepts, and then the concepts kind of dictate who gets the ball. So that lets you know right there, like, yes, Kyle Shanahan attacking matchups, reading sides. We had Greg Pinelli on here, and he talked about the 49ers offense and how there's kind of like a triangle read. So someone in here was like, Trey Lance stares down passes. And it was good to have Greg Pinelli, and I didn't mention that, but he talked about having a kind of a triangle of reads where you look to a side, you're reading a guy, you might be reading a defender, and off of the defender you have this route, that route, check down. So you have 3 options off of maybe that one defender. Example, let's say a cover 2, right? Let's say a cover 2. Let's say I'm a cover 2 corner, all right? If I'm there, I know what's my responsibility? Flats. Now, also I can sink, all right? So a lot of times, how do people attack cover 2? Smash route, right? Smash concept. So what's smash concept? You got a corner route and you got a sit route, right? So as a corner, they just want to high-low you. They want to put you in a bind to where you got to make a decision. Am I going to help out on this corner route, or am I going to rally down on this flat, right? But the quarterback, for how y'all see, the quarterback will be looking at that corner. Now, you might think he's staring at a receiver, but really he's just staring at the corner to read, hey, am I going to throw it to this guy, or am I going to hit my check down? And he's going to gather all that information off of the one defensive back and how he's playing it. So I know a lot of times like, he's staring down. I got something white on my face. He's staring down his targets. No, he's staring down an area and reading a concept based on the defender. All right, so that's what that is. But anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Real quick, got a super chat here from Chili Productions. My only takeaway is that I would rather Trey Lance play good and we lose than rather Trey. I would rather him play bad and you. Damn, something white on my face. I would rather him. I don't want to say play bad. Okay, how about this? No, because that doesn't. I don't like that either. But what I was going to say is, would you rather him play great, right? Like, man, Trey Lance was awesome, and defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, and the 49ers still lost. And maybe that would be encouraging, but you still lost, right? But it's like, well, he played great. Or would he play good and you win? I like that scenario better. Where it's like, hey, man, he played good. I can see him. He needs to get better at this and that and whatever. But, hey, man, they won. And, so I'll maybe take that over the playing great and a loss. Do you think Brady won't retire until he wins the Super Bowl with the 49ers? It's a great question. I don't know, man. Dude's 45. He actually kind of looks old now. I don't know, man. Brady is retiring after this year. It sounds like his wife wants him to retire. Not to be in their business, because I don't want people all up in my marriage business and stuff like that. Marital business. Am I saying that right? I'm using words I don't usually use, so I don't know. I'm acting brand new today. Marital? Anyways, I don't be in people's business, right? But what the reports are that a little bit of trouble in paradise. Wife has kind of an issue with him still playing football. And he's probably like, well, damn, babe, I don't know how to function without football. All right, so they got that whole thing. So I would assume for his wife, and I know me, man, I'll do whatever for my wife. You might see him hang it up sooner than later, and I don't know if it has to do with the 49ers. I don't think so. All right. Here we go. We got Niner Gaming on. Good morning, man. How you doing, bro?
Hey, good man. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm chilling. Trying to spit these words. I don't know. I keep using words where it's like, why am I using these words? And I don't really know exactly. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, so I don't really have a question. This is more directed towards the fan base, really. You know, you being from Stockton, I'm pretty sure you guys had a lot of Niner Raider like rivalries back in the day,
Yeah.
right? You know, you get talking some smack during any type of house party or whatever, and it could turn into a fight. You know, people are real fans. They take it to the next level. But you know, I see Lance, and he's outplayed every quarterback, in my opinion, that he's gone up against. You know, the half a game against the Seahawks, he did really well. The Cardinals game.
Oh, hold on. Again, so it's kind of weird. I don't know how much to expect from someone where he's going into a game. There's no game plan around. He hasn't practiced with first team. But I don't think I would say that he played well against the Seahawks. I think he did some things solid. But I don't think I would say, oh man, like he came in against Seahawks, he played well. Now he did some things where it's like, okay, 4th and 10, he took off, made plays with his legs, made a couple throws, whatever. But it wasn't like, oh man, he played well. Like I saw a lot of like scattered and
Yeah.
he threw a ball in the dirt to George Kittle. He missed the guy on a slant. Like he was sped up a lot. So, but go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Well, all right. So mine is that one because he wasn't in the game plan, right? But so I feel he's played well. The team has kind of let him down on some aspects, but as far as the fan base, I see we've seen him do a lot of enough to be, you know, we need to be more faithful instead of more doubtful. And, you know, we need to rock with our team, man. We're not the people making the decisions, right? So we need to sit back and trust the team to do what they do. And we just need to, you know, rock with it pretty much. It's not like I'm over here like, oh, they should have just kept Jimmy and they're not going to listen to me. You know, I just need to rock with what they're doing and be faithful about it, man. They got the right quarterback. So rock with it. Be more faithful.
I hear you, but a lot of people
getting tired of all the people being negative. You know, I go to work and it's like, oh, what do you think? You know, think Jimmy could have won that game? It's like, nah, man, Jimmy couldn't have won that game. Like, oh, I don't know about Lance. Like, what do you mean? He did good. That loss wasn't on Lance. You know what I mean? He should have won that game, I feel. So I just get tired of these crybaby Niner fans. You know, you need to be more faithful. I mean, this team's doing good, man. The defense was shutting it out during the first half. They slipped up, but I feel if Jimmy Ward was in there, that wouldn't have happened. You know, you got a new safety with the team. You know, he's still learning the people, the vibe and all that. So a minor mistake cost us the game by a couple people. I just feel like this team has the potential, man. You need to be more faithful in it.
I would say this. I think the issue is fans just aren't fans anymore. You know, it's like fans are analysts. And again, no offense to anybody here. I love all y'all. Keep listening, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. But I think the issue is we have a lot of people talking more about the game without truly understanding what goes into it. So all these opinions are flying around. And even guys that aren't inside the building that don't truly understand or maybe don't watch as much, everybody has opinion on everything. And it used to not be like that, right? I'd say even as early as a few years ago. Right now, you got a lot of guys that break down film. Don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? But it's like, oh, well, look at this, and he should have threw it here. And then that's what the fans see, right? Like the fans all see that. So then now they take that, oh, you should have threw it. And I'm not saying it could be somebody, you know, doing stuff for the Chargers or whatever, the Raiders, whatever it is. But I think there's a lot of uninformed opinions. And that's why we come on here. I try to just have a conversation. Like this isn't about this show. And because I, quote unquote, and kind of part of the problem. But on this show, what I try to do is just bring a different perspective. Now, I could be wrong as hell, and I'll always say that. And I think everybody has come on here and listened to me. They all come on here and hear me talk about how I'm not sure, right? But I give an opinion that comes from a place of certain experiences that I've had, and that's mostly what I speak off of. But I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the building. I don't know exactly what's being said. I don't know exactly what people are being asked to do. That's why, have y'all seen me break down film on here? I don't break down film because I don't know what these guys are being told to do. Every once in a while, we might go over something, right? I got Greg Pinelli coming on. He's just talking about, he'll talk about certain throws, right? Like, well, that can't be argued, with the guy, with the mechanics, he throwing the ball, is this a difficult throw or not? Like, we can talk about those things. But in the sense of what exactly people are supposed to do and this and that, then rushing the process of everything, everybody wants everything now. It has almost become overwhelming. And I hope that this is a space for people to come and just, hey man, like, let's just have a conversation as opposed to putting each other down, telling people, oh, they're right or wrong. I've never come on here. I'll never tell people they're wrong. Daniel Kelly was in here. I told, hey man, come on, like, just have a conversation, right? Like, let's hear your logic, your thoughts behind how you feel. Anybody's in the chat that thinks different from me or has a different opinion, come on. You know what I'm saying? But I think there are so many people that they gotta be right. They gotta be right. They gotta be right. Let me force this opinion. Let me force this opinion. Let me force it. And there's a lot of uninformed opinions going on. And I think that's what's kind of, I don't want to say ruining sports. I think that's a strong word because sports are just so powerful. But I think it's ruining the way that these teams and these players are covered.
Yeah, and with all these different things, I just feel like all the negativity that goes around it from all the different fans that just go with a certain narrative, it gets back, and then the whole team is like, dang, our whole fan base is just doubting us right now. They're just all like singling people out, just talking shit. I
think right now more than ever, it's probably the hardest it's ever been for players to probably keep their sanity, because it is everywhere. And you're probably looking at it like, what the hell does this guy know?
And half the people don't listen to real fans like on this channel, so they hear these schmucks on the national television talking some nonsense and they just run with that.
Well, and then the tough thing about the people on the TV is they don't really watch the whole game. Now, some of them do, right? Some of them do. And you'll see, like, and the crazy thing is you'll hear a different tone in the voice of the people that do. I talked about this the other day. Saw Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks talking, and they were talking about the performance by Trey Lance. And Daniel Jeremiah was like, you know what? Let me find it. Because Daniel Jeremiah was like, hey, not bad. Like, but a lot of people, hold on, let me see how I can find this, Daniel.
Yeah, if they watch it, you can't really deny the fact that he's doing good things, man. His throws, I mean, he has every quarterback, like you mentioned earlier, even the guys that played last night, have some throws they want back. No one's perfect, but, they scrutinize them way too hard, man. Way too hard, and it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. But I mean, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna try to find that Daniel Jeremiah clip, and
I appreciate you, man.
Even between Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks, who watched the game and who didn't. You could tell Bucky Brooks didn't, and he didn't say anything bad. He didn't say anything bad about 49ers, but you could just tell, like, just kind of the way he answered questions. At least I could tell, because I know when I get asked a question and I haven't watched something in its entirety or whatever, I have kind of this broad answer as opposed to being a little bit more specific, which I think Daniel Jeremiah was. So.
That's what's up, bro. Hey, faithful, stay faithful. Stop doubting our team. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Got 187. This is a good one. So y'all think because people don't like Trey, they don't know football? No. No. You cannot like Trey. You can. I talked to somebody. I was on the podcast, the 510 No Huddle podcast with my guy, and one of the guys did not care for Trey Lance. And I thought he had a very fair, you could tell he watched, you could tell there were certain things about him that he didn't care for, whether it was coming out of college or what he's seen so far. And it was a very fair and nuanced and thought out perspective on things that he didn't care for, and I 100% get it, and that's cool. That's not the issue. The issue is people that don't really watch the game. They might watch a clip, they might watch the highlights, they look at the box score, and then they're asked, because they're on TV, to give a full opinion of something. That's when it's like, I can tell you ain't really watch. You know? It's like they go off of, okay, this person said this person said this. Okay, I've seen this a little bit, and it's like, nah. You feel me? So like and I can tell when people have that opinion as opposed to people who have truly watched it. So yeah, that's that part. That's what I mean. Listen, like I said, nobody has to agree with me. You can very well, I just ask, do all your due diligence on it, especially when you have as strong of a take and as strong as an opinion of what I've been seeing on TV from guys I know they ain't watched the game. Where was I at? Hold on. I'm trying to find the Bucky Brooks and what they said about. Let's see if I can pop it up. Let's see. Here we go. While I'm looking for that, I'll bring the next person on. I got J Law coming on, man. Good morning. How you doing, bro?
Hey, good morning and happy Friday there, Crocky. We have survived another week.
Have we? We have, in the sense that we're alive. But
and sometimes that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So I got a question. Because I really like Jeff Wilson as a person and as a running back. I still guess I'm kind of holding on to that 2020 season where he just looked like he could be a premier running back. But I really think that we're going to see something from TDP or Mason this weekend, and it's going to be a lot like last season where one of them is going to end up being, the starter the following week over Jeff Wilson, and he'll be the second back. You have any opinions on that backfield without Elijah Mitchell? I feel like Jordan Mason, based off of what we saw in preseason and everything else that we've kind of heard, almost sounds like he has a better opportunity of being that running back versus TDP.
You're breaking up.
Oh, am I?
Okay, there we go.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
All right, hold on, J Law. I'm gonna bring you back on. You were cutting kind of in and out. I'm gonna bring Jedi on. You gotta get your stuff straight. Then I'll bring you right back on. All right. Here we go. Got Jedi in here. Jedi, good morning, man. How you doing, bro?
Good morning, bro. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I think you gotta mute. Something in the back. I hear something. I hear myself in the background.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, awesome. Now I'm gonna tell you why these fools that's saying all this Trey Lance stuff don't know football. Since they say, "Oh, we know football," I'm gonna tell you why they don't know football. Number one, Trey Lance has played 3 games. Trevor Lawrence right now has played how many games?
He played a full season, and then this. So what? 18.
18. How he look right now?
I would say that they would like to see a little bit more.
Okay, and that's 18 games. Josh Allen, first season, how he look?
He was not very good.
How many games he played?
He played, I want to say 11. I know he didn't play a full season, but he played like 11 his rookie year.
11 his rookie year. Okay, so Justin Fields, we just lost to him. How many games he played his rookie year? Did he play almost the whole season? I think
Justin
like 13
Fields,
at least.
He played, I would say, at least 10 games.
At least 10 games. This kid's played 3 games, and we have all these critics already with an evaluation. How? How, Sway? How? If we don't, if I don't hear nobody talking about Trevor Lawrence, where's all this doubt about Trevor Lawrence? He's played a whole season and still looks lost. But it's
here's why, Jedi. The reason why is because they liked him coming out. So if people like you or everybody had him being the guy, right? Like, Trevor Lawrence. And again, I haven't watched enough of Trevor Lawrence to have an informed opinion. So you won't hear me talk about him in its entirety. I might glance over some numbers and say, hey, he led the NFL in interceptions last year. Hey, he threw much more interceptions, almost 2 times as many interceptions as touchdowns, whatever, right? Like, that's just from a broad perspective. But on a game-to-game basis, on just how it looked, I would say playing against the 49ers, didn't look like a generational prospect. Now, could be, well, terrible situation. His head coach got fired mid-year. Maybe he didn't have the weapons. I saw one game he had Tavon Austin leading him in the receiving yards. So I can understand why some people might give him a pass for kind of being up and down. But as it pertains to them giving him more of the benefit of doubt, I think it's more so because of how they felt about him as a rookie or excuse me, as a college prospect, and saying he's the best thing since Andrew Luck, which I did not think that. Right, like that was not my like. And again, I'm not a QB guru or anything, but I remember watching him. Matter of fact, I wasn't watching him. I was watching T. Higgins and Justin Ross. And I remember watching T. Higgins, and I'm watching this film, evaluating him for when he's coming out, and I'm looking. I'm like, I'm not a QB guru or anything, but Trevor Lawrence looks more impressive as a runner than he does a passer. And that was just kind of like a broad kind of viewpoint that I had on him at that time. And
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I didn't quite get
What?
the like, oh man, like generational. Like that wasn't something I quite saw. But again, a lot of other people saw something different, and that's fine. They had him as the best quarterback, and I think because people were so high on him, and again, he didn't go to a great situation, they're going to give him every opportunity and every excuse, as opposed to Trey Lance. You went to a really good team, you have a good setup, you have a good coaching staff, you should be able to do better, even though we said coming out, you need to play because you have the least amount of experience.
Well, see, that's my thing. Out of all the quarterbacks in his draft, I don't think any of these quarterbacks really is stepping up. Like, I don't see Mac Jones. Ever since Josh McDaniels left, Mac Jones is taking a step back. Um, Zach Wilson is
I
hurt.
thought he started taking a step back late last year. No, I
Yeah,
don't want to
late
say
last
take a
year.
step back. I would say he, like other guys, had moments where you would like to see them do better. And from late last year to now, it has been very weird for even Mac Jones, who a lot of
Right.
people kind of crown the Lord.
I just think that for young quarterbacks, a fair evaluation, and you see Tua going through this, it's honestly their third year. Your third year of starting, of having three years of starting under your belt, how many games you make it, and God forbid any injuries, where you can fairly make an evaluation of a young quarterback. And I think you see this a lot with the Tua situation was going on with Miami. Tua to me is just a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo. No, he's just a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo, but people don't like him in Miami. People want him to do more because they are
Right.
comparing him to all those AFC quarterbacks that is coming out of the AFC. Because honestly, the AFC right now, and particularly the AFC West, they have the strong quarterbacks coming out right now. I just think that people need to slow down this evaluation of a 3-game starter and let the kid start a full season. And honestly, and I said this before, you're not going to get this is his rookie year. By all standards, this is technically Trey Lance's rookie year because he's starting all year. He's going to have to figure out when defenses are planning for him now. He's going to have to figure out when to throw these slants and these smaller these closer passes because we know his strength is the deep ball. But all that comes with time and comes with repetition. You don't get it off 3 starts. You just know no quarterback in his rookie year, great or not, has got it 3 games in. That's not gonna happen. You gotta go through it. And when he goes through it, and when we are 3 years in, and then when these guys want to tell me, okay, Trey Lance sucks, I will listen to that point. Until then, I just want to see the kid mature a little bit, get some games under his belt, and just try to grow day by day. And if it's small growth, let it be small growth. I just don't think it's fair for anyone to evaluate a quarterback off 3 starts. I mean, I don't understand what logic or what where can you even defend any kind of logic of, hey, let's make an evaluation 3 games in of this 22-year-old start. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. And we never do that to anybody. And now we're doing it to this kid. Well, we got some doing it to this kid. And I find
A
it as a
lot, a lot of there's a lot of people. Yeah.
and I find it disgraceful that we do have ex-coaches who honestly should know better. Should. You've been in the league long enough. You know, no one was saying, I don't hear none of these coaches that was railing on Josh Allen when he looked completely inept his first year. Completely inept. Nobody.
And if y'all don't believe Jedi, just go back and watch some Josh Allen. But again, this is what people are gonna say. Oh, his roster. So that's what they're gonna say,
listen,
as
you
opposed to
can blame
no,
the
there were just
roster.
things that Josh Allen needed to get better at.
Exactly. They were getting open on that team. He was overthrowing people. Watch the clips. There were people, no-name guys, getting open, and he was overthrowing people. He couldn't nail a small right in front of him throw for his life. He was overthrowing just wide open guys. I don't care if they're nobodies to you. They were getting wide open. They were doing their job. So go watch the tape if you know football so much. That's why I don't listen to these guys and so, oh, I know you don't know football. You don't know nothing. And I'm gonna stand on that, Croc. So you go ahead, have a nice day. And I said what I said.
All right, shout out to my guy Jedi. Appreciate you coming on. That's what's up. I feel him. Real quick, I do got J Law back in here. Before I get J Law on here, I am going to play this soundbite from Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah, and just this is when. And again, I'm not playing this because he agrees. I don't want to say agrees with me, but I'm not saying this because he has a perspective of not saying, "Oh, Trey Lance is trash." It just, to me, it comes off as someone who sounds like he watched the game. All right, so, and I appreciate that because I think a lot of other people, I don't think they're really watching the game. I think they're just going off of, to be honest, I don't even know what the fuck they're going off of. All right, so real quick, here we go. Shout out to my guy John Chapman. He put this out there.
I want us to change gears here and get to Trey Lance because we mentioned how you can't draw too many conclusions right now.
Real quick, can y'all hear this?
Bit onto.
Can y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear that because y'all let me know if y'all can hear that. Yes. All right, we're good. Okay, here we go. I'll start it over.
I want us to change gears here and get to Trey Lance because we mentioned how you can't draw too many conclusions right now. Let me add a little bit onto that. If you were playing in a monsoon and the first time the team has been handed to you and George Kittle is not playing and you're not running the ball like you traditionally have run the ball, maybe let's not get carried away that Trey Lance didn't look fantastic in that football game. I went back and charted it and watched it, Buck. He had some nice throws on some deep overs before the monsoon took over. Some of the issues that he had are easily correctable. Like, for instance, you're playing in wet weather, and they were trying to throw some smoke screens, and he didn't get a grip on the football. So you see the ball kind of float out of his hand. He missed some of those. He had a handful of drop passes. Design quarterback runs. I went through and there were 9 runs. I think he had 8 carries, but 9 runs. So they had a couple quarterback powers, couple zone reads, a couple quarterback draws. There was a sneak in there as well. But I'm watching this game and I'm watching how this unfolds. And I'm saying, okay, let's get George Kittle back. Let's play in a little bit normal weather. And then let's crank up the runs a little bit. You talked about Jalen Hurts the other day. What do you have, 15 carries, 18 carries, something like that the other day?
17
Trey Lance
carries of the night.
Yeah, Trey Lance, that's the blueprint right now until he can get a little bit more comfortable. Let's use him more. Let's run him more. And when I look at his mistakes and some of the things, like they dropped a safety down and robbed, and that was his pick. He didn't see the late rotation, and they got him. That's just playing. He just hasn't played. So when you get that catalog of reps and you start seeing things, not just for the first time, he's going to be fine. I just want everybody to kind of just slow down on this panic. Oh my gosh, they're going to go right to Jimmy Garoppolo. They tried to give Jimmy Garoppolo away for a ham sandwich. They couldn't get anybody to give him one.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of that. And I think sometimes, DJ, there's a little internal pressure that may impact his play. Jimmy Garoppolo's there. He's well aware of Jimmy Garoppolo being behind him. He understands that now it may change the leash that he has. But if I'm the San Francisco 49ers, what I want to do is make sure that I build this offense around Trey Lance and make sure that he's comfortable. More runs. I think he can do so much more in the running game and still protect himself. More runs, expands The running package allows the defense to have to guard more stuff, and then it makes the passing game easier. I just think that the Niners are still trying to experiment with who he is and what he is. They'll figure it out. I think we'll see a recipe and a formula that works well for him as they continue to have success, not only individually, but collectively.
Yeah, you see he had 13 carries total there, but I went back and kind of watched those design quarterback runs. I think there were 8 or 9 of them. So I think you can even step that up a little bit more. He's built to be able to handle that. He made some big-time throws on some of those over routes. That's where he's comfortable. They were throwing a lot of stuff in the middle of the field, which I'm kind of conflicted on because you think it's wet weather. Middle of the field, they're shorter throws than trying to push the ball outside. But, Buck, for a young quarterback, there's a lot of mud, traffic in the middle. Sight lines, when you get out to the perimeter, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit cleaner out there.
Yeah, it is. But when you throw it outside, you now have to rely more on arm talent and arm strength as opposed to, hey,
he's got that.
Figure out a way to make the play. And actually, so yeah, he has that. And we knew he had that. And he played in bad weather during his time in college. So I would just like to think that it's an ongoing evolution. Kyle Shanahan is trying to figure out how to play with the young quarterback. The young quarterback is trying to figure out how to play in the system. And they're also trying to integrate the pieces around him. It'll take time. Let's check back in 4 weeks. Let's check back in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's see how it's progressing throughout this season.
So, and again, not because I feel like they are, not going after Trey Lance or whatever, but I just felt like watching that, it was two people that kind of understand more of the process. Definitely Daniel Jeremiah, you hear him say, hey, man, like I charted the plays, I charted the throws, I charted the runs, I watched the game. This is what I thought. And I feel like if more people just actually went and watched the game, even against the Bears, I think their opinion would be different. But I think a lot of what we're hearing are a lot of people that did not watch the game. So I just thought it was very reasonable what they said. It wasn't something like, oh, this guy's going to be great. Oh, don't worry about anything. It was just like, hey, man, like, they play well, did some things, missed some things, whatever. We'll see. Bad weather. Okay, we'll see. Bucky Brooks saying, hey, man, just run the ball, whatever. Like, let's revisit this in 4 weeks, 8 weeks. And that's all I'm asking. But I guess that's asking a little too much of people. Bucky Brooks sound like Dikembe Mutombo. That's how I sounded coming on this morning. I'm like, damn, why I sound like Bucky Brooks this morning? All right, here we go. I got J Law. He's been waiting patiently, man. Appreciate you coming on. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh, hold on 1 second. And you know what? Frisco 415. This is right. Unreasonable clickbait critics. I need to see how many clicks, how many views did this video get? 22,000 views. I bet though, if they said Trey Lance sucked, it would have 200,000 views. They were like, oh, he's just so bad he can't play. Like the Mike Martz video. Let's see how many. Hold on. Let's see how many views the Mike Martz video has. So this one by Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. This is off of NFL Pods. It's an official. My bad. It's an official NFL Pods account, verified, all that stuff. They got 22,000 views on that. All right, now who's the gov? Then who's the guy? I think I sent it to Brian Peacock. Let's see. What is that guy's name? Dan something.
Dan Quinn?
Nah, Dan. He posted the Mike Martz thing.
Oh, I haven't caught that one yet.
Oh, Mike Martz was going in. Hold on. I probably just type in Mike Martz. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Bear with me.
Currently bearing.
Okay, so the one, oh, his name's Dove. The one with Mike Martz just being like, Justin Fields, terrible. Trey Lance, terrible. I don't know what those teams see in those guys. 430,000 views. 430,000. So they got 430,000 views just dogging Trey Lance, dogging Justin Fields. And the one where you're talking about Justin Fields and it's like, hey, man, like, wasn't that bad. Let's, see it, did some good things, did some bad, whatever. Like, let's revisit this in 4 weeks, 8 weeks, gets 22,000. Like, you see the difference there? So, I'm not saying people have this agenda to just push to just push narratives. Maybe he really feels like that. I think Mark March, I think he really felt that way. But as you can see with the media that's out there that needs the clicks, that needs to watch, right? Like they need people to watch what they're doing. They're going to get more views on the negativity than being even middle of the road with saying, hey, let's see, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if there's a lot of that going on. We'll see. But yeah, appreciate my guy, Niner by Nature. And shout out for the DM as well. I appreciate that. Here we go. But J-Law, what's good, man? What's on your mind?
I don't know. I just kind of building off what you were just talking about. I think that all falls back onto the bad news sells. You know, people are a lot more likely to tune into something that shows somebody else's life is a little bit harder than theirs. You know, people don't want to see people get hurt, but when the news is talking about, you know, things exploding or wars popping off, those are most often the most watched newscasts in our generation. So I think that's really what it is. People just want to see and hear somebody saying the sky is falling to maybe confirm some of their fears. The problem is that people latch onto those and assume they're facts, which isn't usually the case. So I don't know. But back to my original question before I started cutting out. I'm interested to see how the backfield plays out with the running backs, especially with the offensive line playing like they did in the first game. I liked what I saw from McGlinchey in the running game. And it still seems a little leaky in the passing game, though. The interior lines seemed like they were up and down a little bit. You had people just standing there, not doing anything some plays, so I don't understand that. But my question to you, Crocky, is who you think out of the three running backs remaining, not including is it Marlon, the new running back they just picked up?
Jordan Mason.
No. The free agent that they picked up.
Oh, Marlon Mack.
Thank you, Marlon Mack. Not counting him because I don't think he'll suit up this week. But this weekend, based off of what we've seen from TDP and Jordan Mason, which one do you think is going to be giving Jeff Wilson the most pressure behind him? Who do you think is going to be has the most potential as of right now? Because I feel like it's Jordan Mason personally.
I think the guy that has like the most kind of juice and ability is probably Tyler Price. Now, does Tyler Price see the field the way they want him to? Is he able to hit the hole? Like those are the things. But like if we're just saying all things considered, it clicks for this player. Let's say it clicks for Tyler Price, it clicks for Jordan Mason, you know, whatever, and those guys is between those two. Tyler Price is the more talented of the backs.
I feel like that's a fair critique. Because
now, but having more talent does not mean that you're going to get better results. So if Jordan Mason just has more of a feel for it, has more of a feel for cutback lanes, understands more of what they're asking, puts his foot in the ground, gets north right now, he's doing those things better and more consistent than Tyler Price, then he can be the guy that does better. But Tyler Price just in a who's more talented, who has more ability, more upside, whatever, it looks, again, watching these guys in college, et cetera, it looks like Tyler Price. Like when I watch Tyler Price at LSU, I'm like, I see why they like him.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. And when they picked him up in the third round, I had mixed feelings because it was like, we're taking another running back in the third round.
I did not like it.
I didn't like it because I'm tired of seeing them take high picks for running backs and having the, you know, things like the Trey Sermon debacle happen. Like nothing against Trey Sermon because maybe he's going to be something over there in Philly. Because again, in college, he looked like he could be a really good running back. But I don't know, man. It's like if the philosophy, I guess, is truly what I'm asking about here on their running back room, because it seems like, and not just on the running back, but as a whole, the Niners have had way more luck with players in later rounds. And I say this to build up to this question, and I'm not looking to start any issues here, but if the Niners are having so much luck in later rounds and Trey Lance is a first round pick, which is the most, initial pick you can have in the draft, other than Nick Bosa, what other high-end draft picks have been acceptable and have turned into viable players for the Niners? Since Kyle Shanahan and company took over and have started implementing their philosophies. Is there something during the draft that they're doing in the first, 3 rounds that they don't do in the last 9 rounds?
I think you can take more of a flyer on guys that have ability that you see and that fit more in what you're trying to do, as opposed to somebody that's just the most talented.
That's fair. And I think that's kind of what excites me about Trey Lance the most, is seeing just the raw ability that the kid has. I was kind of saying it the other day when we were chatting. We, as Niners fans, we have not seen that throw that he made to, oh my gosh, not Ayuk, but we just picked him up from the Steelers.
McLeod.
Thank you, McLeod. That layered throw that you were showing the other day, man. I ain't seen a Niners quarterback make those types of throws, and Trey Lance did it more than once. It wasn't just that one throw and then we didn't see it anymore. No, he made multiple throws like that in the game until that storm started happening. And we, as Niners fans, have not been lucky enough to have a quarterback that could do that since Jeff Garcia?
Maybe, but the thing, you still, he can make special throws, and that's awesome, but still has to, you gotta improve in all the other areas too.
Oh yeah.
So it is good to have somebody that has that ability, and I think that's what people want when they draft a player like that. But also the other parts and aspects of your game have to come along as well. I think right now, that's how do you do that? And I would assume it's playing, and it will, but we'll see. But I'm gonna get you off of here, J Law, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro. All right. Shout out to my guy J Law. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Appreciate all y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. I see my guy Daniel Kelly's in the chat. I invited him on, man. I invited him on. He didn't want to come on, so we just not going to entertain him. So, but I appreciate everybody tuned in today, man. Watch the 49ers game, have fun, all that good stuff. Have a good time. I'll see y'all Monday. All right, yeah, I'll see y'all Monday. Hit the like button, subscribe button on your way out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
You lying. Hold on. I saw that. Hold on, where was it at? Hell no, you ain't try to join. Anybody that's ever tried to join on here got on here. Period. Anyone that has ever clicked the link didn't work. How the link didn't work for you, but it worked for everybody else? It's the same link. It ain't a different link. It's the same link. There's one link. I click invite. I put it in the chat. Everybody clicks it. It worked for everybody and worked for you. I don't know. All right. I doesn't pass the smell test. I had to come back for that. That's right. I had to come back for that. Yeah. I'm just saying, let's be real. That's all I ask. We come on here, I just want everybody to be real, right? That's all I ask. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I keep it a buck all the way. I mean, I done touch all personal stuff, everything, right? Like the people that really be in here, we done got personal, we done got everything, right? Like I keep it a buck. So let's just be real. Let's be real. All right. But anyways, I'm out. He had his opportunity, man. I'm out of here. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.